God knows when anyone's going to fight at the moment. It's all up in the air. I mean, Jamel Herring, that fight it's all but sealed, isn't it? Is that right, or has it actually been signed, sealed, delivered?
No, it's pretty much done. It's not signed yet, but I was on a conference call with him and Christina Poncher from ESPN on Top Rank the other night, and Jamel Herring seems as keen for this fight as I do. So hopefully once things kind of ease and we get back to some sort of normality, and the fight can be made.
Yeah, I mean, I know the initial plan was, well, it was June, wasn't it, in Belfast, either at Windsor Park or the Arena.
So I wanted Windsor Park as my first preference. Obviously, I want to fight there, and I think that's the reason why Jamel Herring wanted to come here, is to be involved in a big stadium fight. But the Odyssey doesn't really make sense for either of us if Windsor is ruled out, because the atmosphere is amazing in the Odyssey. I love fighting there, but for a chance for me to talk about Madison Square Gardens and stuff, for a chance for me to fight there on top of Bill Madison Square Gardens and Jamel Herring being the champion, to miss the outdoor stadium fight in Windsor, why would he come to Belfast? It doesn't make a lot of sense for him to come there. So if we can do it in Madison Square Gardens, that's something I'd be delighted about and very keen to do.
Yeah, no, I read that, because that would make absolute sense. I mean, it's legendary venue, but I heard there was some people giving you grief about not fighting in Belfast. Was that right?
Yes, a couple of really. That's all. I don't know what they want. It's just people that like to complain, and the people that are complaining, they've probably never been to a fight before. It's just these typical guys that like to complain. I've been very happy with what I've done in my career and delighted with the travelling support that I've always had, and it's something that I'm very proud of. And when we do travel, I understand that some people can't afford to go. Doesn't mean them any less of a supporter of mine if they can't afford to go on an away trip. But these away trips make memories for people, and the people that are lucky enough to be able to go, they talk about these memories they've made, and they'll share them with their own kids and their own grandkids when years come. So yeah, it's just you get a few people that like to complain, but that's all it is.
Yeah, well, I mean, you've only got to look at Tyson Fury's last fight, and the amount of supporters he had over there was crazy. I mean, not quite Ricky Hatton levels, but you talk of memories, and they'll certainly be taking a few home from that.
No, I was very lucky when I fought Santa Cruz in Vegas. I just brought 5,000 from Britain and Ireland, which is insane. Like, I never imagined to bring that amount of people away anywhere, but to bring 5,000 people from these shores across as a featherweight, halfway across the world, just after Christmas as well, in January it was, and it's my support for a small guy is amazing.
Yeah, it's incredible, second to none, really. With Herring, I mean, a lot of people are saying the size difference. I mean, it's obviously when you see you two together, it's very notable. And a lot of people are saying, he's got the bigger reach, a good big and beats a good little and all that stuff. You obviously don't see it that way.
No, I don't. I think that he's obviously a lot taller than me. He's a big lump of a man. I think when you look at, I think the pictures of us standing beside each other after my last fight in Vegas are a wee bit misleading. Although he's a lot bigger on me, he looks like he's about 3 foot bigger on me in them pictures. And he looks wider than me as well. I think that he's a similar sort of shape to my last opponent in Taylor McCreary, who I completely outboxed with 2 broken hands. And saying that, Jamel Herring's a much better fighter than Taylor McCreary, and I know I'll need to up my game, but there's ways to beat. I beat big men before, and it's going to be a very tough fight, but I genuinely believe I can do it.
Yeah, I presume you're going to have taller sparring partners when you do finally get back in. Fighters that mirror his sort of size and the way he fights.
That's what we always do.
Yeah,
that's what we always do. No matter the opponent, you try and replicate that with a sparring partner. So Jamie's already reached out to a few people. I've already got a few people in mind as well. So Yeah, we'll get the correct sparring and for Jamel Herring, definitely.
I mean, the negative with being that big is how the hell does he get down to 9 stone 4?
Well, he has to make the weight. That's the thing, and that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking like people are saying, "Oh, look at the size of him," but I'm thinking this guy has to make 9 stone 4. I seen a picture of him. You know, I think that was something that irked him a wee bit when I had said that he was heavy. Maybe I overestimated how heavy he actually was. He's always in good shape, but he's still, you know, a fair enough bit out from fighting weight, and he's ripped to shreds. So there's not a lot of fat to come off him. So it's going to be harder for him, and he knows that, and I know it. It's going to be, obviously, I'm a smaller man and coming up from super bantamweight. It's going to be harder for him to make 9 stone 4 than it is for me. But I suppose that we'll just see. You know, proof's in the pudding, and all the talking that me or Jamel are doing, that it won't really matter really until the fight's over and someone's hand raised.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and obviously by that stage, you're both going to have quite a long layoff. Do you think you would go straight into that fight, or would you have, you know, like a little bit of a tick over just to get a bit of that rust off?
Straight in. I want to go straight in. I think that he got the same mindset as well, and I think that I think we both could go straight in. I've had a fight more recently than him. I'm a bit younger than him as well, so a lot of people talking about me being on the scrap heap because of my age, but if that's the case, then surely Jamel is more on the scrap heap. I didn't read into that at all. I think both of us are in the prime of our lives. We're two healthy, fit men, very determined men. But you know what people are saying online, and it's just a lot of it's nonsense. I think it's going to be a great fight, a well-matched fight, and I think it'll be a very good one.
Absolutely. I mean, if you do win, obviously, or when you do win, you'll become 3-weight world champion. Where do you go from there? I mean, where do you, if you, I know you don't like to look beyond fights, but if you know, how many fights realistically would you have after that?
Well, I don't know. Again, it's one fight at a time. That's the way I'm looking at my career. And 3-weight world champion to me is like fairy tale stuff. Especially, imagine we done that in Madison Square Gardens as well. It would be unbelievable. But I never imagined that I could have done what I've done when I turned professional. Like I'm very proud of what I've done. But 3-weight world champion would be, you're talking about Hall of Fame stuff then, potentially. So one fight at a time. Who knows? But there's big fights out there for me. After Jamel Herring, there's unification fights. There's a rematch as well with Jamel Herring, depending on how good the first fight is. You've got the Santa Cruz fight, which probably should have happened a long time ago. You've got Josh Warrington rematch, which could happen, I'm very keen for as well. So there will be options, but again, it's just one fight at a time.